So it's been about 3 years now since I've discovered Danny's YouTube channel and started my game dev journey. And Danny has since grown his channel from around 50,000 subscribers to almost 3.5 million throughout his YouTube career. And throughout his growth, I've always wondered, how much money does Danny make? I mean, he can't make that much, right? After all, he's still a college student. Well, after spending all night researching and doing calculations, I finally found out, and spoilers ahead, Danny is really, really rich. As of today, Danny's income is split up into a couple of different areas. First, he has his various YouTube channels, including Danny, Danny2, Danny Clips, as well as Danny Tutorials. Second, Danny has made some very successful games such as Muck, Crab Game, Milkman Carlson, and much more. And finally, Danny has had other minor income streams such as from his merch, as well as his short time on Twitch. So let's start with Danny's first and biggest YouTube channel, Danny. Well, according to Social Blade statistics, Danny has approximately 240,917,207 views on his main channel. To accurately tell how much money these views have pulled in, we need to use something called RPM. RPM, or rate per mil, is essentially a figure that tells you how much money you earn per 1,000 views. As we don't know Danny's RPM, we'll go with the next best thing, my channel's RPM, which is roughly $1.03. Now if we divide Danny's total views on his main channel by 1,000 and then multiply it by my RPM, we get that his views has roughly netted him around $248,144.72. Danny also offers memberships on his main channel for either $1.99 a month, $4.99 a month, $29.99 a month, and $79.99 a month. Most YouTube channels are able to convert 0.01% to 0.03% of their subscriber base to become channel members, which means that Danny roughly has about 668 current channel members if we take the average of 0.02%. If we take his tier 2 membership at $4.99 as the average, we can conclude that Danny makes roughly $3,333 through his memberships per month, or roughly $40,000 per year. As Danny's channel has been constantly growing, and it's difficult to tell how many members he has had at each given month, we'll assume that he's only made about a year's worth of membership revenue through his career. If we apply our previous RPMs to Danny's other 3 channels, we can get that he has made around $98,761 from Danny2, $1,629 from Danny Tutorials, and $77,487 from Danny Clips. This brings Danny's total income from YouTube to be around $466,021.72. Next, let's take a look at Danny's games. Danny has released some hit bangers such as Crab Game,
high-octane gameplay, and more.
When developing Crab Game, we really wanted to make sure with the game, we just wanted to...
Milkman Carlson, and my personal favorite, Muck.
Boys,
Yeah.
got a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob, you're big shot! Oh no! Back,
Oh,
abandoned ship! Abandoned ship!
Boys, let's run this way,
Good job! God! Yeah!
As well as a wide array of mobile games that he has released in the past. Not only so, but Danny currently is working on Carlson, which also happens to be the 7th most wishlisted game on Steam.
Oh, you don't know what Carlson is? Carlson's just like, get warrior!
Well, how much money does Danny actually make from all of these games? Well, not a lot actually. As all of Danny's games are free to play, the only games that actually bring in revenue are his mobile games. Now we don't know how much money Danny has made up to date on his mobile games, but Danny has actually posted a really helpful video that displays how much money he's made in the past. We can see in his video, Danny has an average EPM of roughly $1.84 and about 708,700 ad impressions. Now Danny also shows us the amount of users who have installed his app at the time, which roughly equates to 114,660 users. This means that each user viewed on average 6.18 ads. Now it's quite difficult to tell how many installs Danny's games have had in total, as Google only displays an estimate number on each app's page. But for simplicity's sake, let's use the estimated numbers in our calculations. This means that Farty Rocket and Tree Team have both generated around 618,000 ad impressions, while Bad Game and Jelly Drift had generated around 3,090,000 ad impressions. And finally, Balls and Milkman Carlson has generated around 6,180,000 ad impressions. This brings us to a total of 19,776,000 total ad impressions across all of his games. If we divide that by 1,000 and multiply it by his EPM, we can see that Dani has made roughly $36,387.84 throughout all his ad revenues in his games. This brings our total amount of money Dani has earned to around $502,409.56. Finally, let's take a look at Dani's merch as well as his Twitch channel. Throughout Dani's short time on Twitch, he amassed around 2,153,048 channel views. On average, streamers make roughly $3.50 per 1,000 views, which means that Dani has made roughly $7,535.67 from Twitch. Finally, we have Dani's merch. Dani doesn't actually promote his merch that much, most of it is actually sold out. However, on represent.com, we actually get a figure of how many items have been sold as well as their prices. After looking through all the merch and adding the numbers together, we get that Dani has sold around $2,907.76 worth of merch. Now let's say Dani gets around 50% royalties from his merch, which means that he probably would have made around $1,453.88 through his merch. If we add all of our previous numbers together, we can see that Dani has made a combined $511,399.11 throughout his YouTube career. Well, what does this all mean? Well, this means that if Dani wanted to absolutely ball out, he can buy a couple of Lamborghinis. And if Dani is somehow watching this video as well, my favorite Lambo model is the Aventador.